We did it. We saved the Earth.
What a shithole.
What a shithole.
Gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
The fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy. What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks.
In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Marathon Me with the fourth installment in the Alien franchise. This week, Kane and I are here reviewing Alien Resurrection.
Yes, boys. Hell yes. I think you mean Alien Resurrection.
Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, exactly.
So my first probably regret of this viewing experience was my mental state. I had a little bit of something to smoke beforehand.
Get some vegetables.
And I could not stop saying Alien. Alien.
Watching the
at the start of the movie my brain.
Watching like the first few minutes was utter hell for me because seeing you and our mate Jacob being all
hopped up.
Yeah, all smooth brained and all that, laughing at all the credits. Meanwhile, I'm like sober as a bone.
Jacob was just reading the opening credits in a funny voice, and I was gone.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't shut the fuck up, and I'm like, guys, I'm trying to read the people that made this movie. I'm trying to give them the credit that's due.
I'm trying to soak in the nice establishing shots of space.
Exactly. God, guys.
And yeah, I honestly sort of regret that because I think that this movie was pretty cool. And I was ready to like concentrate, and I had a very enjoyable time, but I probably wish that I could concentrate a little bit and be a bit more analytical.
Yeah.
But overall, I had a fun time.
Now, I just gotta ask, are you being like, is there like a hint of irony behind like you saying that it's pretty cool, or like do you genuinely mean it when you say like you really enjoyed it?
I genuinely mean I actually think this is pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, I'm the same here, although there is a bit of hint of irony as well, because a lot of this film is so fucking bad, but it's good, you know?
I think that I gave this like 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I was like, that's a bit low. Like, I gave it like a high 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like, I thought this was like above average.
Yeah,
like, especially coming after Alien 3. Which just sort of felt like, oh, come on,
a very nothing kind of movie. Honestly, the more that I think about it,
this was really fun.
Yeah.
This had like the campiness of Aliens that I thought was cool, and it sort of expanded xenomorphia a bit, like the Xenomorphs in a way that I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
even though that sometimes it was a bit dumb and a bit weird, I still really enjoyed it.
That's a good way to sum up the film, actually, is that it's a bit dumb and a bit weird, but it's a fun time. Yeah. And I still enjoyed it.
I think that we both probably have friends that were like, they're a bit of an idiot and they're a bit uncomfortable, but honest, but they're my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
They're my friend, and I own that shit.
Yeah,
that they're my friend.
Yeah, no.
I'll hang out with them here and there.
Oh god,
that's what I feel.
Someone's gonna be listening to this and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I feel like that's a call out on me."
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
You know who you are.
Oh, hey,
your Alien Resurrection.
Well, while you guys are worried about if we're talking shit or not, here's a little bit of the trailer.
Who are you? Ripley Ellen, Lieutenant First Class, number 36706.
Ellen Ripley died 200 years ago. You're a thing, a construct. They grew you in a lab.
What the hell is going on here?
He is breeding an alien species.
Wish you could understand what we're trying to do here.
Now they brought it out of you.
Not all the way out.
You want to tell us what this is?
It's a queen. She'll breed. You'll die.
Ellen Ripley died trying to wipe the species out. I'm not anxious to see her taking up her old hobby.
I can feel it. I can hear it moving.
Basically, this movie is 200 years after Alien 3. 200. Insane. Movies that took place in the future, we're now in the double future.
The Ellen Ripley is like really from the first Alien to now this one has experienced about like 300 years or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, she has lived over 300 years, but it's only been a few weeks.
Yeah.
So she's been having a terrible couple of weeks.
Yeah, she's basically had a terrible month, let's just say. Like, bloody hell.
It's a terrible month over 300 years.
She's like Fry from Futurama, man. Just been frozen for a long time, just waking up just in random shit.
Yeah, exactly. This is the Futurama that we all needed.
But basically, so Ellen Ripley, she was dead, and seemed like that she was dead for good after Alien 3. But no, she's cloned. They made a clone of her now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Kane, what happened to Ellen Ripley? I thought that she was dead.
Yeah, she I thought jumping into an incinerator would be pretty finalizing in terms of death and, not really leave any traces of DNA or evidence. But apparently they got Ellen Ripley DNA and DNA of the alien queen that was in her chest, and they cloned them both. Which, like, how? I mean, look, it's the future. I'm sure they, did some bullshit. They 3D printed her DNA.
And that's, the motivation of this movie, right? Is that it's to clone Ellen Ripley so that they can also clone a queen.
Yeah.
And then they can train these alien xenomorphs to be, super soldiers, correct?
It's basically, the movie's whole plot, with them, these scientists having the aliens now, it's basically what Ripley had been trying to do for the first 3 movies to prevent. And now, in this one, they finally have the aliens, and now we're actually seeing them try to militarize these aliens.
So it's another movie where big business trying to make money is risking the world.
It's disgusting. I can't stand it, man.
And the sort of main end sort of conflict is that, and now this ship that has xenomorphs on them is heading straight to Earth.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh my god.
So then this crew of misfits has to take on this ship and make sure that they can redirect it or blow up the ship from getting to Earth and letting xenomorphs wreak havoc.
Speaking of the crew of misfits, oh my god, they are some interesting characters and an interesting cast as well. Actually, the whole movie's got an interesting cast.
Yeah, let's make our way through the movie now. Let's make our way through the movie because initially this I don't know if it was Alien 3 or Alien 4 that was intended that it was going to be actually set on Earth. It was going to be.
It was Alien 3 that was going to be on. That they tease it as being on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. That Alien 3 was going to be xenomorphs on Earth, and almost what would have happened if this ship actually got there.
Yeah.
In a pseudo way.
Yeah.
And instead they sort of backtracked, and then Alien 4 is that potentially happening, and they're stopping that from occurring in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And instead then we got Alien 3, which is weird sort of prison cult alien fare.
Yeah.
And then we got this one.
Yeah, this...
And from the start... interesting, unique visuals, I believe. It pretty much opens on the cloned Ellen Ripley, Ripley 8.
Yeah, number 8. Literally, fucking just full on Stranger Things vibes.
Yeah,
honestly, with the tattoo and everything.
Yeah. Ripley number 8 is a very integral character that is sort of spoken about in the alien lore. From going into YouTube rabbit holes, people seem to really like Ripley 8. I think.
Really. I feel like people would have maybe not enjoyed her as much because, it's not the real Ripley, it's just a clone.
I think the community are just interested because we don't see what happens to her afterwards.
Yeah.
They want to see where Ripley 8 goes on
that's fair.
after this film. So they're really interested in where her sort of journey ends up.
Also, it's she wasn't, even though the whole clone thing is always such a trite and tired bloody trope used in a lot of media, for example Force Unleashed Part 2, where they basically negate a character's death from a previous movie and then be oh, there's a clone, but it doesn't feel like the same person, you know what I mean? It kind of ruins the attachment that you made to this character, you know what I mean?
It is a very, very easy way out to, oh god, we killed this character that we don't want to be dead. They're cloned now. They're back. That Sigourney Weaver's back, but as a clone of herself. bit of a cop out.
Yeah, it's a cop out, literally. But like, I think you can do it as long as like the character still like has some fun quirks and some decent emotion, or like give them some decent emotional moments. You can make it work, and I prefer the original, the Ellen Ripley OG, but I think Ripley 8 is pretty cool. Pretty neat.
We should refer to Ripley from the past movies as Ripley 0.
Ripley 0, okay.
Yeah, Ripley 0.0.
Oh, damn.
And she definitely has a lot more depth because this Ripley 8 is a little bit of a weird schmozzle character that is like the DNA has been mixed with the Xenomorph.
Yeah.
So this is an explanation of the Ripley that we're seeing in this film is that she's cloned and mixed with the Xenomorph. So this ain't the Ellen Ripley that we've seen in the last movie.
This ain't your grandparents' Ellen Ripley.
She ain't. This Ellen Ripley has heightened instincts and also heightened strength of her body. And also has slightly acidic blood. Mm-hmm. So part alien, part Ripley. That's what we get.
All woman.
Yeah, all badass. So that's what we get in this movie.
You did forget one of her skills, heightened basketball skills as well.
Yes, yeah.
Michael Jordan, eat your heart out.
I would think that this is though a part of the heightened instincts. Our human innate instinct to be good at basketball.
No, we gotta save that separately, bro. That's a very important skill set that needs to have its own category.
So we're introduced to Ripley 8 in a test tube. It's halfway between being a fetus and then being a grown woman.
Yeah.
I think it may have just been because of the state of my mind, but this looked very strange to me.
You're not wrong. It is very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what to say. It's just strange.
I think that what I was just like getting so freaking like what about is just like the superimposed Sigourney Weaver face on this weird.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, it's coming back to me now. Yeah.
This is what, and like this is like an iconic sort of image from the film, right? Like
yeah,
and it's just that put like shivers down my spine, but also because of just the heightened psychology that was happening.
Yeah. Your heightened instinct.
Yeah. My Rhys's instincts have been increased.
Oh god, fuck that.
His discomfort for weird visuals has been intensified.
Damn, Rhys when he sees women. He's
But in this intro as well, we get a dissection of a chest burster.
Yeah.
Like it's like being taken out of
she's been operated on. Yeah, because they're trying to get the chest burster embryo out. Yeah.
And what I thought was really, really cool about that, again, maybe I just thought it was cool up because of how it was, but I thought it was really cool because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then the chest burster is revealed. A little like not alive yet chest burster being pulled out.
It's a nice build up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. It's very, I think, very suspenseful.
From the get go with this movie, it's the tone in terms of how it's shot and how a lot of the actors act in this movie, like. You cannot take it seriously. Like, there are so many... You notice this too, right? There's a lot of... Throughout the whole film, it's like this. There's so many, like, close-up shots that are wide-angle lens and weird camera movements where, like, the camera will just start swaying from side to side and, like, almost do Dutch angles. Like it's out on a carnival ride or something. Like, you're watching a weird Scooby-Doo-esque comedy or whatever.
I think that this movie, though, the actual, like, visual style or the production values feels so much higher than an Alien 3.
Oh yeah, no, well you definitely, because you're seeing more color, especially color wise. You're seeing more color than just orange and grey and brown, and the location is also just much more interesting as well.
Yeah, I think completely. So to put it into perspective, so this was a $70 million budget.
$70 million, damn.
$11 million of it went to Sigourney Weaver for being in this.
Yeah.
$11 million for one movie.
Insane.
Oh, I would take that.
Yeah,
and to just, to be like stomp around being all badass and being good at basketball. Fuck yes, I would take that.
Yeah, no, good money.
So $20 million more than Alien 3. And this, like, I think that it is a lot more, like, I think that you can take the visuals a lot more seriously.
Yeah. Even,
there was this
even
scene.
with the
There was this like
some of the questionable CGI.
I think that there was this exposition scene that was some sort of like captain of the ship talking to another person in like a really dark sort of like cockpit of the ship. And I was just looking at that like, hey, this lighting I think is quite good.
Yeah.
Jacob was hanging shit on the lighting during this viewing, but I stand here saying that I think the lighting was quite good.
I love that you raise your hand even though no one's going to see it.
I did, yeah, just to show you that I'm being serious.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Don't worry, I believe you now. I was questioning it. I was questioning your legitimacy, but like I get you now.
One hand in the air, one hand on my heart, swearing to God that these visuals are okay.
These visuals are pretty good. I mean, there are some questionable effects in the film, but you know, it's a late '90s film that, you know, when they were still getting the hang of CGI, so it's never going to be perfect half the time.
As of the start, excluding the weird sort of half-formed clone, I thought it was pretty alright. Pretty good.
No, like Yeah, it's good. It's just anything would have been a step up from how drab and boring Alien 3 looked in terms of visual style and like set design, you know?
100%, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like overall this first act had like a very because I think that it didn't start off really, really fast just yet, and still built its suspense.
Yeah,
it
definitely took its time. Yeah,
like one scene that I love that I almost forgot about if I didn't write down my notes for it.
Yeah,
is when there's the room that has all these like host human beings locked in.
That was a really cool shot. Yeah,
all in their own individual pods with the alien egg positioned right above their heads.
That was a really good tense scene to see,
and such a dehumanizing freaking look of how they're using these people to just spawn aliens.
They're using them it's literally just like they're using them like cattle, basically. Yeah, just bred to slaughter.
They're just vessels.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, they're literally just husks to impregnate and kill them. And it's just, I think it just hits so hard. The way that also it's symmetrical with the eggs being there.
Very satisfying, yeah.
The way that it looks very, very like constructed and scientific. Yeah. Freaking great scene. Great composition.
It almost kind of reminds me of like a design from something like Hellraiser or something. I don't know why, just like that kind of, the way it's all set out, it just reminds me of like something that you've seen like Hellraiser or
looks like a torture machine.
Yeah, literally.
Some sort of torture or like a sacrificial freaking thing where you could almost see like a goat being slaughtered in the middle of them when there's like a pentagram that's all made like being made out of their blood just in the middle.
Really cool. Oh my god, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, so sick. And I think this is sort of where like I think that scene is where the first act sort of like ends approximately around that point.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we're getting more sort of introduced to our misfit gang.
Our Guardians of the Galaxy ripoffs.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
The movie even came out.
There's a fucking scene with our misfit gang walking down a corridor in this just in slow motion, just like in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my god, it's so good. Like literally, the scene opens with them like the door. I think it was like the door opens and they're like kind of shrouded in shadow, and then they kind of walk into the light and like they're all standing in like a line. Like it's just to show like the whole gang and all that, looking like
and you can just hear hooked on a feeling in Alien Resurrection.
I love it. It's so fucking good.
Bro,
we need to see that. We need to see James Gunn reference that in Guardians 3, man.
I know.
Have that crew come in the Guardians 3.
Yes, and also it would be like all A-listers, so you would get like the clout of having all of them there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because okay, first A-lister. Winona Ryder is in this film.
Yeah, I actually, when we booted up the movie, I forgot Winona Ryder was in this, and I'm like, I'm low-key kind of in love with her, bro. She, like, 90s Winona Ryder, oh my god, she is beautiful.
Very, very cute.
Oh my god.
Also, I haven't seen this movie at all, so I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Yeah,
So,
you wouldn't have known for a second.
I did not know for a second that she was there. I was very surprised when frickin' Ron Perlman was there. Oh, I love his character so much because he is a comic book character and a half.
He literally, oh my god, it's basically like he's kind of trying to do the Hellboy thing before he was cast as Hellboy, basically.
So Ron Perlman in this film just plays like the tough guy.
Yeah.
Which like, of course Ron Perlman's going to play the tough guy.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But nothing else more than the tough guy.
Yeah.
And, it's so much fun.
It's like if Aliens was... It's like, say, for example, if like Aliens was made in the 90s, and like that's how I feel like fucking Hudson's character would have been portrayed if Aliens was made in the 90s. How like Hudson was trying to act like the big badass guy. I feel like they would have Hudson be like a Ron Perlman type if they made it in the 90s.
That's fair.
But like, I'm very glad that it was not in the 90s. I'm glad that this is in the 90s. I'm glad that Ron Perlman is playing this character because, oh my god, his first scene, he's like fucking, he's hooting and hollering like a monkey, bro, and drops his knife on crew member Rhys. Member Rhys's leg.
So yes, there's a crew member named Rhys in this. Nowhere near as cool as the Kane from the first movie, so we're not going to be talking about him that much.
No, I thought he was kind of neat, you know.
I thought he was sort of cool, but he definitely felt like a sequel character.
Yeah,
where he's just like really goofy and like he was a cartoon character.
Yeah, well, they were all fucking cartoon
characters.
They were all
cartoon characters in this.
Some more memorable than others.
Yeah, which is what I think a lot of the entertainment value comes from. Which is like with Ron Perlman, every line uttered out of his mouth is a joke. Is such a joke. It's so over the top, over malicious.
Yeah.
Which is so entertaining.
Dude, like, people be like, Ron Perlman is so great in Sons of Anarchy. No, fuck y'all. No, Sons of Anarchy, whatever. No, this is his crowning jewel of a performance in Alien Resurrection.
Alien Resurrection walks so that Sons of Anarchy could run.
Exactly.
That's it.
And also, like, Hellboy, yeah, he's fine as Hellboy, but Alien Resurrection, Oscar worthy.
And also I have to say this now as well because I also thought his name was Rhys throughout this entire thing, but it's apparently Vrys with a V.
With a V.
Look at the spelling of this. It's like V-R-E-I... Oh, no, I-E-S-S. So V-R-I-E-S-S.
Are you joking?
Vrys. Yeah, it's Rhys from the future.
Yeah, this is how Rhys... Yeah,
this ain't just some normal name. This is a future name.
Damn, man. Your name's going to be
V's.
Your name's going to be upgraded in a couple centuries time,
Yeah,
Rhys.
it will be, man.
I should start calling you Vrys from now on.
So he's sort of like he sort of seems to be the sort of like the Tinker. We have a friend named Tinker, which makes us confused. But the Tinker character, who is all about gadgets and arsenals and stuff like that. Who is in a wheelchair, and so his legs don't work, but he's all mobile because his gadgetry is what gets him around.
Yeah.
So he's that sort of cartoon character.
Yeah.
And then there's also there's a guy called Vincent in it who I know as Parko.
Oh yeah, fucking oh my god!
I know as Parko.
Vincent wasn't part of the crew of Misfits though.
He wasn't.
No, he was working with the company. He was working with like the scientists and all that. Because like at the end of the movie, he like portrays like the main villain dude. I remember.
Oh no, I didn't even know. Did not even figure it out.
Right. I mean, he doesn't really leave that much of an impact in this movie, which is weird because Raymond Cruz is an actor that you remember, you know what I mean?
I think he has a very distinguishable face.
He does have a distinguishable face, and also like he plays crazy really fucking good. Like obviously, you know, Tuco Salamanca from Breaking Bad, but also Parko
from My Name Is Earl.
Yes.
A bit character who was there for I think 3 episodes in season 3.
Oh hell yeah, man!
But we love it. We love it, man.
Oh fuck yeah!
There wouldn't be Marathon Me without a My Name Is Earl reference.
Oh mate, it wouldn't be the same without a My Name Is Earl reference.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This whole crew just cartoon characters, and they really carry this film. I believe.
I don't remember the dude's name, but one of my favorite characters was the dude that had like his first introduction scene is like him doing the Travis Bickle gun thing, where like he had like a gun spring loaded in his sleeve. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
that guy. I don't remember his name, but he was really fucking cool, honestly, because I don't know, and like I don't know what it is about 90s and early 2000s movies with doing like weird stuff with guns and bullets, but like his character will like in like one of the scenes where they're getting like apprehended by guards, he like angles his gun and shoots it. It ricochets off the wall, off the roof, hits the dude in the head.
Oh, that was so sick.
So goofy, but it's really fucking cool though.
He's an ultimate marksman who
oh my god,
completely can predict physics and know how to ricochet a bullet multiple times to hit someone in the head.
Dude, insane.
I love that.
I guess like some people just built different in the future, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy,
his
man.
skills, insane.
Yeah. Oh my god, mate. Where was he in Aliens, bro? He could have helped kill all the Xenos, man, with the military.
Well, that's what I feel like. This movie takes a lot out of like Aliens book in the way that it feels like this crew that are going along to it feels like there's a tight sort of unit that are trying to solve this issue through like force, which feels very reminiscent of Aliens, but instead of it being like a constructed trained group of mercenaries.
Yeah.
It's this group of misfits that have taken it into their own. They're like rebels.
Yeah, basically, kind of like space pirates.
They feel like the rebels in comparison to the more sort of professional
military professionals.
Yeah, militants. And I find that like a cool idea. It's sort of like it's sort of like the scrapyard version of the Aliens crew.
Yeah.
And because the Aliens crew are pretty like cartoonish.
Yeah.
So
they definitely have that like the Aliens crew have that 80s cartoonish vibe, and then this one is very 90s cartoonish vibe. I feel this film. Like you said, it takes a lot out of Aliens. Yeah, I agree. This film takes a lot out of Aliens in terms of this one, like Alien and Alien 3, they're kind of the same movie in terms of vibe because they're both they focus more on horror. This and Alien Resurrection and Aliens, they're more kind of action oriented. Although I feel like this one is kind of like action, quippy, sci-fi kind of mix. Because this was also written by Joss Whedon back when people actually liked him, so it's very the dialogue you could tell is very Joss Whedon-esque.
I like this parallel that it's like that. It almost works out quite evenly in the way that like I'm using my fingers to show this diagram, but how the different films will be parallel with one another interchangeably. Like the odd ones go in a similar direction and the even ones go in their own direction. Yeah. And I like that. I think it's cool and sort of like adds diversity to this franchise.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about this franchise that we've been viewing is that like all these movies, even though there are some dips in quality, they're all trying different things. Even with like Alien and Alien 3 being, basically straight up horror movies, Alien 3 tried to do different things. Alien Resurrection is trying to do different things. And the later two films try to do different things. And, even if some of it doesn't work, I can still appreciate it because I like it when a film tries to do something different.
Name like pretty much any horror franchise and a lot of the installments will blend into one another.
Literally, yeah.
Where this one here, I think that overall, like later when we get into other films, I'm going to have something contrary to say about it. But at this point, I think they don't blend into each other that much.
No, they don't.
Which is awesome, because then you get diversity, and also, I think it makes this franchise very marathonable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. And it also a lot more staying power in terms of, like... Because, like, you say you watch the Halloween sequels or the Friday the 13th sequels, like you said, they blend together. You'll kind of just see them as one movie, or, like, a lot of them can be forgettable. And then, like, with these movies, the sequels of Alien, like, even if Alien 3, not as good, like, nowhere near that great, but like there's still because it's different enough and it tried to do new things. I remember it more than say like fucking Halloween 5, you know? Like whatever.
And you know what I think else it does? It gives purpose to each installment.
Yeah.
It gives purpose to it because it's a different side of the franchise.
Yeah, like...
and that's I think that's quite cool. And also probably it's in service of like the only having 6 of them if you don't include AVP.
Yeah.
But with it being 6, then there's room for that instead of like Friday the 13th when there's 12 movies and it's like it would be just you would have to completely reinvent the like franchise for it to go in any other direction in 12 distinct films.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think that this is very, very cool.
I agree.
Like how this is the only Alien movie that we've watched so far with a strange basketball scene in it.
Oh, dude! Oh my! Do you want to discuss it first?
I think that you are more passionate about it. I was more just like, this is so funny.
Okay, so
at the time, I'm just there like, what? Oh. This isn't right.
So Ripley's first meeting with the Space Misfits is her playing basketball. And one of her heightened senses. Wait, what had you
One
say?
of her heightened instincts the instinct to be good at basketball.
Exactly, to be goated, to be the Michael Jordan, the Steph Curry or whatever NBA players, you know? They meet her, Ron Perlman starts kind of trying to flirt with her, and then she starts getting all aggressive, and then starts kind of basically just throwing the ball at them and hurting them with with said basketball. And the scene ends with her walking away, throwing the ball over her head while not facing the ring. It goes in the hoop, like, you know, it's just like, oh my god, trick shot.
Oh, trick shot.
It's just a very goofy, out of place scene, and I'll tell you why I love it. Okay, so during the credits, I see a name called Pitoff, and I'm like, I don't remember what Pitoff did in the movie, but that name rang a bell. 5 minutes into the film, I realized, holy shit, I know Pitoff. He's the one that directed that awful Catwoman movie, that awfully amazing Catwoman movie starring Halle Berry. And in that movie, there is a basketball scene of Halle Berry and Benjamin Bratt.
A weird sexually charged basketball
yes,
scene,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Like a weird sexually charged basketball scene. And I'm like, oh my god, this dude was this basketball scene in Alien Resurrection was definitely a practice run for Catwoman's basketball scene. I just wish in Alien Resurrection they had the song Scandalous playing. Just like in Catwoman.
Oh man, a mere few years between both films.
Oh man,
and he's like, man, I'm misdirecting my sexy basketball.
Yeah, let me bring it back, man. Let me bring it back.
And credit where credit is due. Did you know that Sigourney Weaver actually made that trick shot?
She did?
She did. And it looks like that she didn't, because the basketball goes out of frame and then goes in the hoop.
Oh, damn.
But she did it.
I'm assuming like it was after lots of takes and all that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But like that's really cool though.
I think a few takes.
Okay.
It cuts quite quickly because Ron Perlman apparently reacted like, oh my god, she fucking did it.
Yeah.
And broke character. So then it cuts very quickly after it gets in the hoop.
Yeah, and it kind of throws you off and all that. Like you think like, oh yeah, CGI, or like, she didn't make that.
Or what I think that people would assume is that it would just be like chucked in from off screen because it like exits the frame.
Yeah, that too.
But she actually made it. So
I did not know that.
Maybe Sigourney Weaver has heightened instincts.
Hey, if anyone's gonna have heightened instincts, I could see Sigourney Weaver having them.
Yeah, I could definitely see her being on that train.
Definitely.
Yeah. And basketball as a weapon, is a very good weapon, I believe.
It is a good weapon as a man that has been hit in the face with a basketball back in primary school. It does hurt.
You could really, really, I think, injure a human being with a basketball,
especially if they have glasses. You know.
Oh yes.
I didn't get my glasses shattered when I hit myself in the face with a basketball, but it does hurt, and yeah, you could do some real damage with it, especially if you have heightened instincts.
If you have heightened instincts. The instincts to attack a human being with a basketball.
Damn, man.
And I feel like that when I was a child, every time that I played basketball, I was going to get a jarred finger from that ball and then feel it for like a week.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Knock on wood, but I've not gotten a jarred finger in probably about 10 years.
Ooh.
And I remember having one almost constantly during like a late primary school days. Because I would play basketball after school with Stephanos.
Yeah.
And then it would always have my ring finger would be jarred to that point where it couldn't bend, or could only bend to a very restricted point.
Yeah.
And oh man, that was a constant struggle.
Oh, I hate that, man.
See, they are dangerous. Basketball is a dangerous sport that, if you have heightened instincts, you should not be using as a weapon.
Yeah, you should, with great power comes great responsibility, and you should, just be careful, guys.
Exactly. Look out for your ring fingers, people.
Exactly.
Because it's too much.
Basketball. It's not as safe as it looks.
So let's get to the Xeno of it all in this film.
Okay.
So one of the first scenes where we see these like actual fully formed xenomorphs is where like the aliens spawn so they've been captured and they have their like little enclosures.
Yeah, they're like little zoo animals,
Yeah, they're like little like test subjects that some are like by themselves in little rooms, some are like put together with others.
Yeah.
And it's shown very, very quickly by Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif?
Dourif.
Brad Dourif, yeah. Dourif. Say
Brad Dourif.
Yeah, anyways, whatever. Anyway. Don't worry. I know how to say it right.
Yeah. So with him, with him as the scientist, now I'm fucking lost the spot. Now he is a scientist, and who is voice of Chucky, as well as in a lot of Rob Zombie films, in like the Halloween. Halloween.
I forgot he played Sheriff Brackett in Halloween.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
he does. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he's in a lot of stuff. Also, he's been in a lot of stuff for years.
Yeah,
as in decades upon decades.
Yeah, I actually only found out like last year that he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, he's in that.
And that was like one of his first roles.
And when he's quite young, like he's not even recognizable.
He's a little
really
boy in that. Yeah, it's insane.
And,
like, dude, like, can we just give a shout out to Brad Dourif, man? Like, just great character actor. Fucking love you, man. Like, you're a big part of my childhood.
I reckon that he too was one of those people that I get a sense from him that he just loves the horror genre and cult.
Yeah.
And like because he's in so many different horror films from all across the horror spectrum. And I feel like he just loves that community.
Yeah, honestly.
I know that he goes to a lot of conventions in America.
I'd love to meet him.
And like travels around, and he seems to really, really embrace the cult that surrounds him.
That's just it's so good to see, like, when like, say, like, because, like, you know, like, some character, you know, a lot of character actors, they don't have the kind of same glitz and glamour that, like, A-listers do, but in a way, I prefer character actors like Brad Dourif, because they just, I don't know, I get a lot more out of their performances a lot of the time in movies, because they seem more passionate about what they're doing. They're having fun. They're enjoying, kind of embracing, like, even when they're starring in schlocky shit, I can still tell that they're having a great time, which makes me have a great time, even if the movie is not up to par.
Character actors feel more humble in their roles, right?
Yeah.
Like, it feels more like that they are enjoying being them. They don't like them being killed off midway through the second act is not a huge issue for them.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm just glad that I'm here, getting my pay and moving on.
Yeah, getting my pay and, you know, having a bit of fun, working in a fun community, in a fun genre kind of a community and all that. Yeah.
So Brad Dourif, is that how you think I should?
Just say it like that. It's fine.
Yeah. So Brad Dourif, he plays the scientist who shows us that aliens, the Xenomorphs of this franchise, can actually be conditioned and trained, which I think is a very cool concept.
Yeah,
I think they show it maybe a little bit too clearly. And very obviously with like they have a little contraption where he presses a button and then it sprays the Xeno.
Yeah, sprays like liquid, like I
think it's liquid nitrogen.
Yeah,
right?
liquid nitrogen. Yeah, on them.
Yeah. Sprays liquid nitrogen on them, and tries to the Xenomorph attacks the glass and then gets sprayed with liquid nitrogen. Then goes to attack the glass again, puts his hand over the switch, and then it stops.
Oh,
went very quickly, almost too quickly.
Yeah, you
in
probably
that
needed
scenario.
to wait and maybe a scene or two to show that. Yeah.
But it communicated that quite quickly, and I think that's a very interesting concept. That you can train these animals.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Honestly, I love that. Jacob was like, you can't train a lizard. You cannot train a lizard. And it's like, yeah, these aren't lizards. One, they have more in common with an insect than a lizard. And then two, they are aliens. They're not real. They don't have established lore like the animal kingdom.
I love that you mentioned that like they're close to the insects, like that insects can be trained. I don't think an insect can be trained.
You don't know that, Rhys. You do not know that.
You haven't tried training an insect.
You have not tried it.
My pet crickets know their names.
No, but like what I mean is, I just mean like
they're an unknown thing, right? Like they're just like they're not real.
Yeah, they're not real, and two, I just mean like, you know, biologically they I don't know, they kind of just, they give me more. They have an exoskeleton.
Like they can be trained if the writers deem them to be trainable.
Yeah, because they're fictional fucking creatures.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, like elephants can't be used for war, but you know, in real life, but in Lord of the Rings, you can.
Yeah, you see in like 300, the elephants are used for war.
Oh, were there elephants in 300? Sorry, 300 is just such a mid movie to me. I don't
It's
remember.
them, or maybe it's because it's in the past. It's like a descendant of an elephant.
That's basically what happened in ancient Spartan times. They like elephants and shit were all bred for war.
In Assassin's Creed Origins, there are multiple war elephants.
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
I hate these boss battles so much.
Oh my
They're
God.
so fucking dumb.
Oh my God, dude! I had a fun time doing that shit. I think you fight one of them with Julius Caesar in that game, man.
Yeah, you do.
Didn't you hate Origins?
I hated Origins. Okay, my probably this is. Assassin's Creed Origins is probably my least favorite game of all time.
Really?
I know that there are worse games out there, but it's my least favorite because I think it's so fucking empty and drab and just I think the world think is just stripped of personality.
Really?
And yes, the story as well is freaking nonsensical. It is dumb. It is and there's so many, and it's so technically like inconsistent and flawed that like during cutscenes that you would assume like they're not pre-rendered cutscenes, so they'll just be like random NPCs that are like walking through the middle of the frame during cutscenes and stuff.
It's Ubisoft, mate.
At one of the climaxes of the story, there's some like you get a person that is apparently your friend, and they are like they are a traitor, and they turn back on you, and they like push you over and then go and stomp on your head. And when this happened in the game when I was playing it, a cat, like a just house cat, comes walking by in the frame and then just sits down next to me as I'm getting my head stomped in.
There's a lot of cats in ancient Egypt, bro.
And then it just starts like floating off the ground because its its freaking model isn't supposed to be there at the time.
Ubisoft, man, they're just a bad company, man.
It took all of the freaking impact out of this scene. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And also, it's not... I don't think this game is made for me because I'm a huge completionist. And of course... Even though this is my least favorite game, and I did not enjoy much of it,
you still completed it 100%. You
still 100% of this game,
absolute slut,
and put about 70 hours into it. Even though that after the first 5 hours, I was like, I am not enjoying this.
Can I just ask before we get back to the film? Have you touched Odyssey yet?
I have not. I have it there on my shelf.
See, I played a decent amount of Odyssey during the first lockdown, back in 2020. Not a great game, but I had fun playing it. It's a nice little just time waster game, but you are going to want to kill yourself because that game, I have not finished it. It is too long, too much stuff. It is bigger than Origins. You will be miserable.
I dread putting that game in my PlayStation.
Yeah, good luck with that, mate. Let me know when that happens.
I'm very, very scared to do so. But back to these Xenomorphs.
Anyway,
yes,
Xeno time.
Xenos. So with these Xenomorphs as well, we're also shown that they can communicate with each other.
They can.
And I think this is a lot of people, apparently there's discourse online about there is discourse online, yes.
Damn, I didn't know the people are angry and upset on the internet.
Man, people, they have conversations and they have opinions, it is true.
Ew, gross.
And one opinion that I came across was that it seems like it's quite dominant that this scene is fucking dumb. That with the Xenomorphs talking to each other, and just like talking to each other and screams like sort of thing.
I mean, like, look, the screams is a bit kind of goofy, but like... Actually, it is kind of good because it reminds me of Jurassic Park 3 when the raptors talk to each other.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, I think.
But I think the end result of what that scene does with, like, establishing that Xenomorphs can communicate and, like, what they end up doing during that scene, I think saves the whole kind of goofy nature of it.
I think it's so cool. So what happens here is that there's 3 Xenomorphs that are trapped in a enclosure together, and they start looking at each other and communicating in screams, and then you can see that the conversation is getting heated.
Yeah.
And of course, there's no like subtitles or anything like that. Thank God, that would have been so dumb. You can see that it's just getting heated and aggressive, and then they start attacking each other.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what's happening here? But then you realize the 2 of them.
Yeah, they start ganging up on the one.
Are ganging up on this one to kill one of the Xenomorphs, to like shred it open so that it can bleed all over the enclosure. So then the acid,
fucking cool.
The acid can melt away the enclosure and get them to escape.
Oh my goodness, it's so cool. But it's like it's also kind of weird. It's like, do you not think that the scientists would have had like material that is acid proof? But I guess like they were still kind of in the middle of studying the Xenomorphs.
Yeah,
so
they're still studying.
Probably still weren't aware of the acid blood yet,
and they probably didn't think that they would possibly have the intellect to sacrifice one of their own to escape.
That is true. But even then, like even if it is a lapse in logic on the writer's part, it's still a fucking cool scene that like I don't care.
Oh, I think it's such a cool scene, and it's also like the trigger for them escaping
for the mayhem to begin. Yeah,
it's a trigger for the mayhem, and then also like the intensity and suspense as well. That Brad Dourif looking at the enclosure, empty, and then being like, where are these fucking aliens?
Where are they, Andy?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then they just appear, and then that's where our buddy goes to die.
Yeah.
We're
rest in
also
peace.
very, very gruesome, this film, again.
Yeah. Oh, dude, some of the kills in here are actually, like, in terms of kills and just xenomorph action, so much better than Alien 3. I actually remember some of the Xenomorph action in this one. Oh my goodness, that isn't just goofy CGI. Wow.
I am a defender of the violence in number 3. I think it's quite good.
I think the
cubed violence is cool.
The only violence in Alien Cubed that I appreciate was Clement's death, but that was just because that was the one named character I remember dying.
That is the main one that I do think of.
Yeah, that is fine. I completely understand why you like that one.
But also, one of the best deaths in this movie goes to just, unknown fucking NPC number 3 or whatever. But do you remember it? It's in one of the enclosures.
Oh, is it the liquid nitrogen death?
Yes!
Oh my god, yes!
One dude, and it's how fucking cool too that, like, after one of the xenomorphs escapes, and this one dude then goes into the enclosure to be like, what? Where did it go? Goes into the enclosure, and the xenomorph then is in the other room.
Yeah.
And then with its freaking mouth head, goes and presses the button, the liquid nitrogen button.
It's so dumb, but like, I'll let it slide just because the kill is very fucking
cool. And then this guy is being covered in liquid nitrogen until his arm snaps off, and then liquid nitrogen on his head.
Breaks like glass, man.
Yeah,
like,
his arm breaks off like glass.
Oh, it's so cool.
And then it keeps on hitting his head until his head just fucking crumbles and shatters.
So fucking cool. Like,
I think
damn
nice.
That's like basically the first kill of the movie, really.
I think so. Yes,
yeah. No, it is because like Brad Dourif doesn't. Like, he gets taken, but he doesn't die till later on in the film. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is probably one of the coolest. Like that's a very like slasher movie. Sort of kill.
Very Jason X. Honestly.
Yes. Yeah. Completely. Liquid nitrogen deaths in space.
Damn, the horror that seems to be a weird staple of the horror genre. And you know what? I'm in for it.
Yeah. I know.
I'm here for it. Hell yeah.
So around this point as well, there's a scene that I think that made me gasp.
Yeah.
It was the heightened state that I was in, but it was when Winona Ryder and Ellen Ripley. I think that they're talking about the alien.
Yeah.
And Ellen Ripley's maternal instincts kick in again.
Yeah.
Which is, this is her, like, thread throughout the entire franchise that makes me fall in love with her, is that this sort of, like that's, like, her sort of thematic, emotional icon or symbol, I believe, is her maternal nature.
Yeah.
And she feels the same way to this alien, like, it's weird, and I think her character is quite cool in this Ellen 8 in the way that you're not quite sure how much she is aligning with the crew, or the alien. Like, there's this, like,
true though,
like there is this strange sort of like
moral ambiguity to her, you'd say, because she's like kind of sees herself as the mother to these aliens in a way because she has the alien queen DNA in her.
And I love that, of course, it's adapting to the Xeno DNA, but it's also adapting to her maternal nature. And it shows that even through her cloning, that cannot be lost because it's so integral to who she is.
It's a part of her. It will never leave. Yeah,
it's as much a part of her as her look, as herself. Like, so freaking sick. I felt that was a very, very good attention to detail moment.
That is pretty cool.
It's sort of like, that was my photogeny moment where everything I was like overwhelmed with emotion and realization that I was just like, wow, I like this.
It is really good.
Really
it is really good that they kept that whole like character trait consistent throughout this entire franchise. That's so fucking cool. Even though like all these movies are handled by different people, very fucking cool. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was so sick.
I also can I just say I love the sexual tension between Ripley and Winona Ryder in this movie. There's so many scenes of like them just getting really up close to each other, and Ripley threatening her, but also talking very quietly and seductively to her.
Yes, yeah.
And like, look, man,
I'm here to see it.
I'm here to see it. So, you know, I ain't gonna complain, man. Like, it is weird and like it is out of place in terms of tone, but I'm here to. I ain't complaining. Like, come on, 90s Winona Ryder and 90s Ellen Ripley. Like, 90 Sigourney Weaver. You know, that's all right. That's cool. I'm in support of it.
I can live with this. I can
definitely live with this.
And we also see the aliens in an unfamiliar territory, the water. We see underwater aliens in this, which again is very, very cartoony.
Which is I kind of like, but I kind of don't like as well. That whole sequence.
My only comment on that of like something that I want to have a conversation about this.
Okay,
I think that even though that the aliens are that the Xenomorphs are these like built creatures to live and laugh,
and love, to live, laugh, and love, live, laugh, love. That's what I think of. That's the Xenomorph motto, right?
Yeah,
there.
Exactly. That's
Dude, the alien queen should. The alien queen should have had just that big banner in her fucking chamber with the eggs,
a little quilt with it. With it sewn in.
Oh my god. She's just on her computer. She's on her phone making fucking Facebook mum posts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, mums. Facebook mums.
Love them, man. Yeah. Love them.
Xeno mums. God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, because they are built to live, not love and laugh.
Yeah.
So I still think, though, that they would not be able to catch on how to swim so quickly because they would not be used, like, even though that they're, like, the most, like, evolved of their fucking, like, of their... They're very evolved species.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be, like, their sort of thing, right?
Yeah, apex predator type shit, yeah.
They're more evolved than mere human beings.
Yeah.
But water isn't in their biome.
That is true, yeah, because like LV-426 or whatever it was, that doesn't look like a water-based planet.
I don't think that it is.
No,
we have nothing to base that off of, so I don't think that they have been able to evolve. Well, obviously not, but I don't think that they should have been able to evolve to be able to be such efficient swimmers. Human beings being able to swim, obviously, because we have to be around water.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see a lot of... Yeah, they are very, very proficient in not even just swimming, but like diving underwater.
Yeah, they are... The way they swim is very professional. Like, they use their tail, like they swim like bloody fucking...
They look like submarines to me when they're underwater.
Oh, God.
And I think that is a little bit far-fetched in this...
It is a bit of a stretch, yeah, to think like these creatures, which we've never seen near water before. We've seen the planet that like they were introduced on, LV-426, which like it looks more like just like a desert rock, like the moon, which, you know, I'm pretty sure the moon doesn't have any water. Last time I checked, at least. I mean, actually, Luna Park, the theme park on the moon, that does have water, I'm assuming, but, you know.
I ain't buying it. I ain't buying these swimming Xenomorphs.
Yeah, the franchise jumped the shark with the swimming Xenomorphs.
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
Jumped the Xeno, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Don't approve. And Rhys doesn't approve of that joke either. But you know what? Fuck him. I'm rolling with it.
This, like, underwater scene was, I thought, sort of whatever. But what I liked a lot more was when they were escaping the water. The ladder scene. The ladder scene was great.
It's pretty tense, honestly.
Very, very cool.
It definitely picks up when they are trying to breach the water and like the whole surface of the water is just like encased in like this alien mucus shit.
It's a membrane.
That's the word I'm thinking of.
They like finally find their way out of the water. And then they swim up to the top, but then they can't exit it yet because there's this sort of weird mucousy membrane from the aliens that has like built up, and it's so gross and very and also appeals to that freaking the fear of drowning.
Yeah.
Which,
oh my God.
Everyone probably should have.
Yeah.
And so that becomes very, very tense with also the aliens coming on the other side. So I was like, which way do you go?
Goodness. Yeah. It's horrifying. I was just gonna say before, it's like just a kid at home who's gonna be like, I'm not scared of drowning. Fuck you. I'm not
scared.
Oh, I can hold my breath really long time if I do drown. Fuck you. Yeah. I'm not scared. But yeah, anyways, do continue.
We don't want to offend your ego, 8-year-old listeners.
Yeah.
So
but if you're 8 years old, why are you listening to this?
No, listen away.
Listen away, but like you know, like I feel like I don't want to be bad influences on you guys.
No, we're good influences to use your brain when consuming cinema.
That is true. That is true. Revoke my last statement. Where you should be listening to us. 5-year-olds listen to us.
Anyway, so we're on this ladder, right?
Anyways, yeah.
So Rhys is hanging off of one of the other crew members.
Yep, the one with the cool shotguns.
And then they have to swap positions because and then Rhys is like holding up his entire weight plus this other dude,
which is very impressive because like like he's using all of his arm strength. He's got those Ellen Ripley from Aliens arms, like holding onto the airlock.
Yeah, being able to hang on and sustain that long with that dude
while supporting another dude who also had a Xeno holding his foot.
And I thought, wouldn't have been that hard if he's just like normally on a ladder with his legs also doing some of the work, but his legs weren't because his legs don't
all
work.
All of his support is going into his arms, and I'm like, damn, Rhys, good fucking on ya.
So then this dude gets knocked unconscious, and then Ron Perlman does this thing where he like flips back.
Oh my god, no, I forgot about this
Still
thing.
on the ladder.
Yeah.
Still like with his feet locked into the ladder, flips back, dual wielding pistols, freaking destroying these Xenomorphs.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then he says some sort of quip. Like, I'll see if I can find it now.
Real nice party, ain't it?
And then he comes back up and then gets scared by a spider and shoots that shit.
Oh my
freaking
god,
great.
dude! The second the spider came up, I'm like, okay, like that is a very Joss Whedon scene that was written in, but I love it. Like a lot of the script I have a bit of a problem with because like, you know, Joss Whedon's writing can grate a bit on me, but like that shit was fucking hilarious. Honestly.
Just so freaking cartoony.
Like one of the actual jokes in the movie that like I genuinely got a fucking huge laugh out of me, man. That wasn't unintentional. Like, a lot of this movie is unintentionally hilarious. That was great though.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
I love it. Yeah.
Right after this, Ellen Ripley gets caught by the aliens.
Oh yeah,
in a very Scooby-Doo-esque manner.
Oh yeah, where the floor like fucking slides down. Like she's in the ancient Egypt.
Yeah, exactly. Scooby-Doo. It like slides away and then she falls into a hole. And I'm like, what's going on? I wonder if there is, sorry, just a sidebar.
Yeah.
There's this really, really cool graphic that I've seen that is like a bunch of different horror icons in like Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo art style.
Yeah, okay.
And I freaking adore it. And there are some Xenomorphs in it as well. Huge Scooby-Doo fan, especially the old school stuff.
Yeah.
Is just that there's an Instagram account that I'm subscribed to called Scoobyscapes.
Yeah.
That's just like stills of the background of Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo.
That's cool.
Episodes.
That's really cool.
The art style is so freaking beautiful.
Like, even though I was never the biggest Scooby-Doo head as a kid. You know, obviously I watched it, I like it, but like I'm not as diehard as you are. But you know, like I can appreciate. I am a Scooby-Doo appreciator. I can appreciate the show and the how massively crafted it is and how much of an impact it's left on everyone.
There's so much,
especially the 2020 movie Scoob, that great piece of motion picture, that piece of shit. Fuck that movie. And fuck Will Forte for playing Shaggy, man. I'm sorry, Will Forte, but like, come on.
It's not his fault.
I know it's not his fault. Yeah, actually, but still, he was bad in the movie though. He was really bad as Shaggy, man. He was awful.
It's just nothing compared to what freaking Matthew Lillard could be.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and there here is Xenomorph Scooby-Doo stuff.
That's so fucking cool.
Oh,
that's so cute. I love
awesome.
that.
Yeah, so...
do you mind if I have a scoop of
okay, sure. If you audience members don't mind hearing Kane eat some fettuccine, then it's okay.
I will try to eat real quietly.
Okay, that's all right. So, I'm going to talk a little bit now about... We are introduced to, near the end of the film, third act, the exclusive, the one and only human Xeno hybrid, which I honestly really like the design of. It's a really, really strange design, I think, to get used to.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird sort of, like, I think that you'll see, like, there's weird features to it that it is, because is this like another failed evolution of the Ripley clone?
No.
This is a baby, right?
This came from I think this came from like the alien queen that they like extracted out of Ripley earlier in the movie.
Okay, yes.
And
okay.
like there's some weird genetic bullshit or whatever.
And it's a strange like, so the Ripley 8 is like, 80% Ripley, 20% alien, where this one here is like 50-50 human Xeno hybrid.
Yeah.
And is disturbing as hell to look at. The face, like you can actually see eyeballs of it. There's weird humanoid, human skull features.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
its head.
A lot of it is very Xeno, but like the face is very like human skull-esque, and like. Actually, I'll let you finish first.
It's got humanoid teeth as well.
Yeah, very.
But then of course it's got that elongated head. It's really long, like big lanky body. But then also its torso. It has breasts.
Yeah,
and then like a human sort of like pot belly to it.
Yeah.
And did you know that this was actually an animatronic?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was like there was a bit of CGI, of course, but for the most part was fully an animatronic.
It definitely looks a lot better than a lot of like the
actual Xenos,
like a lot of like the far back shots of like the Xenos and all that, because like a lot of CG, like the CG on the Xenos was more obvious than the CG on this, which I didn't really notice. I was like,
obviously was minimal,
even though like I'm not I'll let you finish before I give my thoughts on the hybrid.
Yeah. No, that's right. You just. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, look, look, I've seen this movie. I saw this movie once when I was really young, and I thought it was one of the worst things I'd ever seen in my life. The Alien hybrid. I thought it was fucking laughably bad.
Wow.
And watching it again, obviously I don't think it's that bad. Like, I'm not like an edgy 13-year-old anymore where I'm like, this sucks. I'm edgy and oh my god, this sucks. But I don't know. I see what they're going for with the whole alien-human hybrid thing, and it's an interesting idea. And I look, the way it's crafted, like how you said animatronic, it was an animatronic with a bit of CGI. It's very real, like how it's crafted. Very cool. Very like the way they designed it, how it is portrayed in the movie. Very cool. I just can't get behind those eyes, man. I can't get behind those goofy ass eyes.
So I did a bit of research on this film, and
I feel like there's a lot of concept arts that are probably of that creature that are probably better. Sorry for interrupting you.
There's a whole like rabbit hole of just interesting stories about the behind the scenes of this. I think so. One of the tidbits that resonated with me a lot was that a lot of the design of this hybrid is very intentional. Like the eyes were supposed to because apparently the designers for the film wanted this creature to be very sort of wanted it to have the ability to be empathizable.
I definitely got that from the movie.
And they did that through like the eyes were like a necessary. They had to have eyes.
That's fair.
Had to have a lot of like with like the breasts and the sort of like
sorry,
breasts.
Just I don't know.
So that's why I didn't say titties. I wanted to be sophisticated.
You sound real sophisticated, mate. Yeah, good job.
And with like the pot belly and like the sort of like Caucasian skin color was
of course
all,
the alien had to be white.
Yeah,
sake.
God, even though that's coming from Ripley, but anyway,
no, fuck that.
Would have been weird if it was any other race. Is all to make this seem like to really emphasize the human elements of it, and get you to feel a bit empathetic with it, and then also sort of be able to identify with Ripley's position as well. That you see that even though that ultimately she knows that this thing has to be killed, you can see her like bonding and connecting with it at certain moments. Like, you are my child, because she can't hide those maternal elements to herself. And one interesting thing is that on the actual animatronic, the hybrid had a strange amalgamation of genitals that was like a like mesh of male and female genitalia.
Interesting.
That was on there, and you can see photos online, and it's very, very odd. But they didn't want to put that in the movie because they thought it was too much and too gross and
I feel like that
distracting.
Would have boosted, maybe also would have boosted the rating of the film as well.
Yeah. So because of that, every shot with the hybrid that you could see their crotch, it's CGI'd out.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, they had to CGI. So a lot of resources went to CGI like getting rid of those genitals.
Damn, man, they really wanted to do that alien dirty, man.
Yeah, how interesting. They freaking CGI castrated this poor alien.
No wonder he looks so fucking miserable in the movie.
Yeah,
it's not
I
because
know,
his
right?
mother is gonna kill him.
Yeah.
It's because, he just got CGI castrated.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell.
And you see some death scenes like with this hybrid of of like there's this one scene where is it
Brad Dourif?
Is it Brad Dourif?
Where he like bites his head off.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
That and Brad Dourif is so like just in wonder of this creature.
He's like wrapped. He's like kind of like Dallas in the first movie. He's like wrapped up in that disgusting alien membrane shit.
Like oh my, and it's just like oh my god, you are amazing.
You're
this creature,
beautiful little butterfly.
Yeah.
Like wow, what a bad line. I love it. Only Brad Dourif could deliver it and have it be not cringe.
And then the hybrid just puts his entire head in its mouth and crunches down.
It's a fucking cool death.
It is a very cool death, and it also like is really intimidating. The humanoid teeth, I believe, because they're a lot more like rigid and uneven, which just it's. Oh.
Oh, look, beautiful, beautiful little baby. Look, it thinks you're its mother. Come on. Come on.
So interesting, and I think very endearing. I think it's a very, very endearing design.
I don't know. I definitely, I think after having a couple of days to kind of sit on the movie and the alien design, I respect what they were going for. I just think personally for me, this is something I just can't get behind in terms of enjoying the design.
Okay.
However, I do love the idea and the premise of it. I just wish, me personally, I wish they executed it a bit differently, but that's just, I feel like that comes down to more my own personal opinion at the end of the day. Like, I'm not saying they did it a bad way or an amazing way. That's just my personal opinion.
I think that when revealing the intentions behind it, I got more of an appreciation for it.
Yeah. And and also, you going more in depth about it's giving me more of an appreciation for it. Even if I still don't like it, still, I think it's like, hey, that's cool.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. See, it's we're making the movie better, guys. We're making it better.
Hell yeah, we are. Better than it already is. Which, it's like going up. It's like we're already up high, but we're going higher because this movie's goated, mate.
Can we get much higher?
So high.
So high.
I can't do high pitch. My voice.
Oh yeah, I cannot as well. Let's listen to that song after we do this.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So and as well as then so this hybrid is like the main big baddie of this film. The main sort of antagonistic violent force.
More so for the third act and all that, but
for the third act.
The boss battle.
This is our boss battle.
Yeah.
So the final boss is it's another airlock sort of death.
Ah, yes.
But
this one's. I think this one might be the best, honestly.
This one is so violent and so unique.
My God, yeah.
And also, it's just one little hole.
Yes.
One little hole in the window that then the hybrid gets pushed towards it, and the back of its skull presses against that hole, and then it slowly, starting at its freaking brain, it starts getting sucked out of this hole due to the immense pressure. It breaks the freaking the freaking surface of its head, starts sucking out its brain. Actually, I would say slowly, but not slowly, very quickly.
Yeah,
and then it just spreads to its freaking inside, its limbs, its skin, its insides, its freaking digestive system.
Oh my God! And they have several shots of just all the guts and all that shit just like flying out the window. Oh, it's gruesome as shit. And then it ends with just his skull caving in, and then his face just lingering for 1 second before getting sucked out.
Yes,
my God.
so cool.
So
Just
gnarly.
the skull remaining and then the skull being crushed.
That's a great shot right there.
So cool.
The skull remaining before it gets sucked out, great shot. I love it.
Oh, so cool.
Oh my God, yeah, I agree.
So that is like, that is the intent, and also extremely brutal, very, very violent.
It's fucked.
It's just because you see the remains of the alien outside just in space now, and it's just freaking mush.
Haunting.
It's just a collection of mush from
honestly.
this hybrid.
It's very cool that Jason X decided to take inspiration from that death scene in one of the characters' deaths, where I just wish that the alien hybrid just screamed, "Oh, this sucks on so many levels!"
Oh my God.
And then gets sucked out the hole.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I thought I kind of did ruin the scene for myself, and I think for you as well, because I quoted that while the alien was getting sucked out. But
you didn't ruin it for me.
Okay,
man.
good. Okay, thank God. I mean, I didn't ruin it for myself either, because I still think it's a great death, but like, I will always think of Jason X as well.
Because
a lot of this movie, actually, I will be thinking about Jason X, because this movie gives me Jason X vibes, where it's a movie in space where the killer is, you know, killing like stupid people, and like it's very goofy and all that, but like Jason X sucks. It's not fun, not funny at all, even though it's trying to be. This one, I feel like it kind of was trying to be funny, and Alien Resurrection, it works.
I feel like, so I'm going to start talking about my final opinions of this.
Yeah, sure.
Because we're nearing the end, I think, of the episode. And
no, go on.
And I think that a lot of this film feels intentional.
Yeah.
A lot of it is quite stupid, and it obviously doesn't meet anywhere like the quality of the first two.
Yeah.
I probably personally enjoy this more than Aliens. Because I like the goofy nature of it, but it's not as much of a tightly packed movie as Aliens is. Of course.
Yeah, in terms of film quality, I agree.
So, but I really enjoyed it because I think it's a really fun ride, and it's a fun exploration of the world. And what I sort of see this as is like to make this like, because it's not Ellen Ripley. We've seen Ellen Ripley's arc through the first three films, and now it's like her clone. It almost feels a bit like a DLC extra add-on sort of thing that just feels like it was done just to do something a little bit different. It feels like an exercise, and not an exercise that's trying to treat itself as anything more than what it is. So I honestly really enjoyed this.
Yeah, that's really cool. That I'm just really happy that you enjoyed this, honestly.
Thank you. Thanks, man. This is probably, I am keen to watch this again at some point.
Yeah, it does.
I have very fond memories on it.
It does have a decent rewatchability factor to it, honestly. And I do kind of agree with you. I feel like I share the same sentiment where I do think Aliens is the better movie. I kind of enjoy Alien Resurrection more, and I feel like a lot of film fans will not be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
But, it's art. Art is subjective, and, sometimes you're in the mood for a movie that is... Sometimes you're in the mood for a movie that's technically better, but sometimes you're in the mood for a movie that, you just personally enjoy more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely, dude.
Yeah.
So this is, my 3 out of 5 star rating that I put on Letterboxd is probably... I'm quite sort of firm with that. I think that's about accurate. But on a more personal note, I really enjoyed this, and more personal wise would be probably a 4 out of 5.
Damn, yeah.
But yeah, so I could see myself revisiting this again in not a hell of a lot of time.
Same here, man. Same here. Especially with, I think before we wrap up, I just want to say that the way this movie wraps up is so perfect. With one of the final lines, we did it, guys. We saved the Earth. Or
you've got to. You have far too much emotion in your voice.
Oh, sorry.
We did it. We saved the Earth. So good.
Amazing. Beautiful.
So that is just so fucking direct.
I am getting that shit tattooed. I am getting that shit tattooed on me at some point.
That is sick in alien font.
Yes.
Should
I actually do that? I low-key might do that.
Honestly, I think that's not a terrible idea.
And then
also, and it ties in, you can say that the meaning is because of the podcast, because of our creative outlet. It's because of your creative sentimentality.
Damn straight.
And your obsession with media. So I think that's a phenomenal place to leave it off at, actually.
Damn straight it is.
So have a lovely one, everyone. And remember, we did it.
We saved the Earth.
don't forget to check out our Facebook page at MarathonMeOfficial, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.